everybody, thank you for tuning in last week for the little bit of a recap on what you're going to find in version 2.3. This week I want to cover a couple of the features that are related to phasers specifically found in version 2.3. They added a bunch of new enhancements to version 2.3. I just want to look at 3 of them really quick. We're going to look at the new sync keywords, we're going to look at the new column in the sequence sheet, and we're going to look at what happens when you knock phase in. Now there's a bunch of other ones, please go check them out yourself, but those are the ones we're going to cover here today. Okay, they've added in some new keywords. They are going to be FastSync, ReSync, and Learn, which is going to have to kind of work with like Learn, Speed, and Sync at the same time. So I came up with an example to kind of help explain what's happening here. So I have these 3 sequences here. They're all running the same phaser, but I've started them all at different times, and they're all paying attention to this Speedmaster here. So my Speedmaster here is in control of all of these sequences. Now this would work if it's attached to the attribute or the sequence itself. I did it to the sequence itself just for this example, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to go ahead and set this button here to be ReSync. It's found, or FastSync, sorry, we're gonna look at FastSync first. So when this button is set to FastSync, or if you send this in syntax FastSync speed 1, it's going to quickly snap all of these phasers so they're all running in line. So if these were all in sync with each other, it would look like this, and it snapped there immediately. I'm going to turn them all off so we can look at the difference between what we just saw and what ReSync would do. So we'll run this phaser. That's running way too slow. And then this one, and then this one. Okay, they're definitely out of sync. Nope, no good there. Okay, so what ReSync is going to do, instead of it happening instantly, like you saw that snap, we don't always want that. It's going to align the phases over time so that we're not seeing it happen instantly. So now you're watching as these 3 phasers suddenly become in sync, but it was a little more gradual, a little less abrupt. We like that too. Our last option is going to be Learn. So I'm going to set this button to be Learn over here. Perfect. Let's turn all these phasers off so they are all out of sync again. Perfect. And now instead of them quickly snapping with FastSync or happening gradually over time with ReSync, I'm going to just tap to the beat, and they all moved in sync with the tapping of the Learn button. So this is just another quick way to keep your phasers all in line, get them all running together so that your show runs a little bit more seamless. Another example that I have for you today is going to be with the delay to phase button in the sequence sheet. So we're going to open up a sequence sheet here. I'm going to throw 3D over here, and we're just going to hit go. What did I have this set to? Perfect. So this new column is found right here, delay to phase, right there next to sync. I'm going to hit go on this sequence, see what I stored in here. Perfect. So I actually stored, we're going to go ahead and turn on the show recipes option here so that the bottom section here shows me this recipe that's in here. And I'm going to go ahead and set the phase to none here. So now it's just phase on, off. And I always like just to make this a little bit easier to see. Perfect. Now, very clear example. Okay, so I'm going to show you the difference between this being on or off. So if I hit go, turns the cue off. If I hit go again, turns it on. And since my phase is set to 0, they're all going on, off, just as I'd expect. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, I'm going to turn on delay to phase. And now we're going to make sure that we have some delay timing here. So let's set this to 1. And now if I hit go on this sequence here, it's delaying the phase as well, which typically before this, that didn't happen. So now even though the phase is set to 0, it's turning on with that 1 second. So let's turn it off and just see what it looks like if I put faster delay time. So let's do 0.2. And now we'll hit go on this sequence once again. And now that's how the phase is turning on. So with that 0.2. So you have some more options here to help kind of keep your phase and your phasers in line with your cues just by using timing and delaying to phase. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this out there in the real world. I think it's going to make some really fun effects for you. And the last thing I want to take a look at is what happens with measure. So let's go ahead and off the sequence here. And we're going to go, let's make another view because I just want to jump up between all of the views for this video here. We're going to grab our spots group. Let's set it to turn them on in step 1 and set them to blue. In step 2, they will be yellow, and in step 3, they will be magenta. Now, I've created this 3-step phaser here. If I go over to phaser overall and I knock in the measure value, I'm going to just go in here and I'm going to press on for measure for color, and you'll see it knocks 3 into place. What measure is doing in this case is it's working with speed and how many steps you have. So to keep the speed the same and knock measure in, it would need to have a measure of 3 for the speed to not change. So if my measure was set to 2, yeah, it's set them all to 2. You'll see that it looks like it's running a little faster, and if it's set to 1, it's running even faster than it was before. Whereas if you don't want to see anything on stage change, it'll now knock in the measure value you need so that you don't see a change on stage. Anyway, those were just a little bit of what happened in 2.3. Obviously, there's more. Please go check it out and comment what you loved most about this version when it comes to phasers.